Hello everyone, Darcenovia here once again, and I'm reviewing Legacy. And in this particular episode, I'm not going to be talking about the stuff that's going on with Cade because this volume doesn't actually have Cade in it. Though it does take place around the same time as this particular volume, I'll be talking about next time. Um, this pretty much takes place at the same time as Cade's storyline is going on. So if you're interested in seeing more of the galaxy outside of the main storyline in this comic series, it does give you that. And I actually do enjoy the story for this particular one, Indomitable, which is the first one, which shows us the future of Mon Calamari, and I do really like this story. I do think it's exciting considering it just shows you how great a strategist the main character is in this particular story. I think it's pretty good. I think the art is good, to be honest, for this particular comic. It isn't as good as the main stuff with Cade, but I still think it's a pretty good comic nevertheless. I think it's pretty entertaining, and I do love like the designs for the future ships that we get in the Legacy part of the timeline. And I think the space battle was pretty well done. I mean, it was a lot of fun to read. For me, I this is probably the best of the stories I'll be talking about, considering the art is good. There was strategy involved in these space battles, and I'm looking forward to see more of this character that's introduced. I think he's kind of cool. Now, for the second story, The Wrath of the Dragon, it does show us what's going on with Mon Calamari and the consequences. That, to be honest, the art for this particular comic has to be the worst of the stories that I'm talking about. I mean, seriously, the art in this issue is pretty bad. Honestly, it is honestly the worst of all of these comics. I mean, I do not understand. I mean, it's not a bad story, but going from the artwork of Claw the Dragon into and Indomitable to this, it's just like, oh god, it's just the art is just terrible. It is really bad in this particular story, and in my opinion, I think it has the worst art of any of the you know comics in this entire run that I've read so far. Awful, fucking awful. This art. Now, into the core. This has the best art of these stories. And this takes place right after Claw of the Dragon. It's weird. Issue 27 takes place right after that volume. And this actually, we actually get to see Darth and Denu, which is pretty cool. We focus on Darth Warlock, which is it's a pretty cool story, honestly. Out of all of them that we read so far, I think this is pretty cool. Actually, seeing ancient Sith, you know, in the modern era of Star Wars. I mean, Darth Vendedu, he's an interesting character. At least to me, there's some things that I found interesting about him and fascinating. And well, we learn in this particular comic he isn't that impressive, honestly. He is a cool looking Sith Lord this comic, this panel. These panels just look great. It's like, oh, holy shit! It looks amazing. Honestly, this is probably my favorite when it comes to the art because I think it's the best of all of these comics. And that's all I have to say, to be honest. I think these stories are pretty good, all of them, but like I said, the second one has the worst art in my opinion of all of them. And in my opinion, I wish they would have got a better artist to draw those issues. Anyway, this is Darcenovia, over and out. See you guys next time when I review the next few story arcs of Legacy. May the Force be with you all, and stay safe.